Alright, so we are gonna go Warlock. How do you guys feel about making a Murloc deck if we get the right cards? Speaking of which, we have a Murloc. We tried a Murloc deck on Friday night, and it failed pretty miserably. But I have seen some really crazy Murloc decks in Constructed. Unfortunately, we just have to get really lucky. I kind of feel like if we go Murloc, it's either going to go well and we're going to have like tons of viewers, or it's going to go horribly and we're going to like have 5 people watching the stream. Alright, so here, how about this? This is what we'll do. Since I have a ton of cards now, I will at some point, maybe this week, try to make a constructed Murloc deck. And then that way I'll have it available if we want to play it sometime. So we won't go Murlocs this time, although every time I say that, we end up seeing like 18 Murlocs in a row. So, alright. Felguard is really good, but obviously that Battle Cry is nasty, so I would stay away from that. Gadgetzan Auctioneer, I think, is the play here. You can get Felguard from Bane of Doom, which lets you summon a random demon, and it doesn't trigger his effect. So I think Auctioneer is the way to go. Alright, it's a good bunch of good cards here, honestly. Sacrificial Pact is good for healing, but you have to destroy your own minion most of the time. Shadow Bolt is just great removal, 3 for 4 damage. Ancient Brewmaster has a lot of utility. It lets you bounce cards. I don't know that bouncing cards is so great with a Warlock deck, unless we get some good neutral Battlecry minions. I think Shadow Bolt's probably the way to go, but what do you guys think? Guys seem to be pretty split. I'm gonna go Bolt for now. We'll probably see Sacrificial Pact again, most likely. I'll tell you, I think War Golem comes up in every single freaking arena draft that we do. Wolf Rider is really good. Leopard Gnome is awesome. Honestly, for a 1-drop, you're guaranteed 2 damage pretty much always to the enemy hero, as well as 2 damage from the attack. I really like Leopard Gnome. So the way that our Warlock deck did really well before, are we having problems in the chat? I don't know if anybody's on now who's still a moderator, but we'll see. All right, so Raid Leader, Flame Imp, these are all good cards. The way our Murloc deck worked really well before our Warlock deck is we had lots of stealth imps, which was kind of funny. So Flame Imp is really great for early aggro. Raid Leader is good as well. I think we're gonna go Bolt. I will say my experience in Arena. Dang. I will say my experience in Arena is that minions tend to rule the day over spells. Hellfire is great removal again. I think we go with Hellfire, but we got to be a little careful that we don't get too spell heavy. All right, I can't I can't clear my throat. All right, So, Ancient Brewmaster, Fairy Dragon, Worgen. These are all good. The stealth is nice for Worgen. I tend towards the Brewmaster, honestly. It's got so much utility. And, yeah. We don't really have any Battlecry things. Fairy Dragon is good. It basically forces a trade. You know what? I'm going to go Fairy Dragon. Not sure why, I just felt like doing that. So those who watched... Dang. I don't know what is going on. I was going to say, those who watched the stream before saw the power of the Blood Imp. I think we go Blood Imp again. Summoning Portal is awesome, but I do think we go Blood Imp. We found another Blood Imp. We found last game that, like, Blood Imps are awesome. Once you get a if you can get 2 or 3 of them down, they get out of range of most AoE. So, if you buy a pack in beta, even, yeah, Hellfire we won't use for our stealth for sure. Any money spent in beta, you get the same amount of card packs after they do the wipe back in beta. So, we were 4 and 3 with the Warrior. Okay. All good cards here again. Acolyte of Pain will give us some draw power. I really like that card. Leper Gnome is awesome, but we already have 1 Leper Gnome. I'm tempted to go Summoning Portal here. You know, portals are not bad. When you get the Leper Gnomes, so when you get the Blood Imps down with the Summoning Portals, they tend to stay alive for a really long time. We could go fast aggro with the Leper Gnome too, I agree. I'm gonna go Summoning Portal. Alright, so we have some epics. You know, every time they come out with the epics, it seems like it's always War Leader and Hungry Crab. Bane of Doom, I think, is our only choice. Bane of Doom is pretty awesome. Guys, hold on 1 second. Alright, I'm back. So let's see, what are our choices here? We don't need another Hellfire. I think Fairy Dragon's definitely the choice. Worgen Infiltrator could actually be interesting if more stealth. We could actually put the Worgen down. If we have him buffed up with Blood Imps, he would hit pretty decent. Harvest Golem, I think, is a really good choice because it gives us a lot of board presence. So I think Harvest Golem is the way to go. Questing Adventurers is always a solid card. There's the Wind Fury Harpy. Abusive Sergeant is good. Wind Fury Harpy is good. I think Harpy is probably the best card here. We also don't have anything in the way of 6-drops yet. So, yeah. And if we get the Summoning Portal down, we can get that Harpy out pretty early. Gurabashi Berserker is decent. A lot of Warlock abilities do damage to your own minions sometimes, so Gurabashi's not bad. Oasis Snapjaw is not bad. It's a 4/2/7, good for trading. I don't think we don't want the Footman. I would say the Berserker or the Snapjaw. We actually haven't taken a Snapjaw yet. Footman plus Imps isn't bad. I'm feeling the Berserker here. Just gotta watch our mana curve a bit. We're getting a little top heavy. Want to be more here. Power Overwhelming. We never had this chance to get this card in our last deck. I think we take it. It's pretty much an automatic pick for most Warlock decks. Especially in Arena, I think you have to take it. With all the pretty cheap minions we have, Knife Juggler is probably a good choice. I really don't like the other two cards. Let's see. We didn't take the Brewmaster last time. We don't have any draw power in this deck yet, so I think Mortal Coil is the way to go. Yeah, I think it's got to be Mortal Coil. We need some draw power. We have the Gadget Stand Auctioneer though, right? Yeah, so we do have some draw power. I take that back. Wow. So we could have 3 Fairy Dragons. You know, if we get the Fairy Dragons and the Blood Imps down, that could get pretty silly. It could get pretty silly. The Imp's pretty good. The Worgen Infiltrator is actually not bad either with Stealth. We can buff him up and get out there. You know, I think I'm going to go Flame Imp, just because we already have 2 dragons. And, but you know, those dragons are really good. Let's go Dragon. You know, I'm getting more sold on dragons, honestly. I didn't like them at first, the Fairy Dragon, but they're good. Since Demons is kind of a core card. Now, I will say, I think it's much better in... now, keep in mind, guys, it's 2 random demons from your deck. So, if we don't get a bunch of demons, I mean, we have Blood Imp, and so far that's it, right? So, if once we pull much more demons, we're not going to have any targets for it. So actually, I tend towards the Voidwalker here, because we don't have any taunt, and we need taunt at this point. Alright, so we got some epics. So Doomguard is not bad. It forces you to discard cards, but that towards the end game isn't terrible because you probably don't have tons of cards left anyway. I don't like him though. Gadget Stand Auctioneer is good. Master Swordsmith is solid. The deck that we made before that worked really well, we had kind of a lot of low health or low cost buffing minions, and they really synergized well. So I would say Auctioneer or Swordsmith. I like the Auctioneer. Plus our mana curve is getting pretty low ended. Alright, we don't really need another Hellfire. So we could go Archmage here. A 6-drop, 4/7. It trades well and has some spell power, which could be good for our deck. I think the Infiltrator is actually good too, for stealth. Yeah, you guys say snap Hellfire. The problem with Hellfire is it does 3 damage to everything. So, I don't know. I'm tending towards the Archmage. Give us a bigger body to put out. We really need some taunt, but I hate Silverback Patriarch. It's such a bad card. The Raptor is a solid early game card. I really don't want to take a Patriarch. Yeah, we don't have any big 7+ cards. I'm gonna go Core Hound. We're pretty good early game at this point. So we have another Archmage out. I do need taunts, and I also need definitely stuff in the 2, 3, 4 range here. I wouldn't normally go Footman. I don't really want to go another Archmage. The Commando is great because he generally trades. Since we're so lacking taunt, I want to go Footman. Hopefully, we can drop the Footman and some Blood Imps at the same time, so the Footman survives a little bit. What to buy? More Fairy Dragons. What, right? I think actually the better pick is the Scarlet Crusader. 3/1 with Divine Shield means you get a 2-for-1 basically with it. And we need some 3-drops. And We should make a deck of pretty much nothing but fairy dragons and blood imps. They would be awesome. Alright, let's see. Shadow Bolt, we already have 2. A third isn't bad. Elven Archer is a great early card. Stranglethorn Tiger, Stranglethorn Tiger with stealth could turn into a bomb. But we have so many late game minions already. 5, 6, 7s. I don't know. I'm kind of torn between the Bolt and the Tiger. So we don't have a ton of board removal. We have the Hellfire. We have 2 Shadow Bolts. We don't have Twisting Nether. Archer is great for early game. I agree completely. Yeah, I think Bolt. So we have 5 cards left to pick. Succubus is okay. It's okay. Voodoo Doctor is great because restoring health basically gives you card draw. So let's go Voodoo Doctor. Alright, so we have some rares here. Normally, I would automatically jump at Argent Commander, honestly. Abomination I don't like in this deck. Yes, it's Taunt, but when it dies, if we have Stealth minions out, yeah, it's going to be bad. So, Mana Addict is good for early aggression, but we're getting pretty heavy in the 1s, 2s, and 3s. So, I think Argent Commander, honestly. Argent Commander is awesome. We do have Stealth minions. We have 2 Blood Imps, which I really want to keep around if we can. I'd like to draw a 3rd Blood Imp if we have one. Flame Imp is not bad. We really need some 3 and 4 drops. We're not getting like any 3 or 4 drops. I think Stormpike Commander is the way to go. It gives you good board control later on. Our mana curve is really wonky. I'm going Commando. Alright, there's another Blood Imp. I actually really want to take that card if we can. I don't want to need a second summoning portal. Cult Master wouldn't be a bad pick, because we don't have much draw power in this deck at all. But I think Blood Imp is the way to go. Blood Imp, we found Blood Imps to be so strong the last time we went through this. So, let's see, Gadgetzan Auctioneer. We already have, we have 2 Gadgetzan Auctioneers. I don't want a 3rd. I think Sun Fury Protector is the way to go here. Plus, it will allow us to get some taunts on the board. We don't have much taunt right now. Yeah, we've been picking this deck for a while, I agree, but that's alright. Alright guys, so that is the Warlock deck. Yeah, so let's get into